Thank you for joining once again. My name is Ivaylo, and I will be leading the project management trainings. I have more than 17 years of overall experience. All of it is within the IT area, and 14 of which is in project management, program management lately. So I've worked with a few big companies like Telecom Austria Group, Nokia, and VMware currently. And I'm currently a trainer for the last 5 years within New Horizons. And currently the success rate, that's only the success rate for the course that we'll be teaching with you, is above 97%. So it's not anything hard. You can do it. So it's very pleasant and a nice training. The certifications that I have is, of course, apart from the PRINCE2 um, trainings, which covers the project management. I'm also working actively with other project management methodologies like Scrum, Project Management Professional. So during the course, we are going to cover mainly PRINCE2 topics. But of course, if you have any questions, overall questions related to project management, not only to PRINCE2, but related to anything else to process, we can cover them as part of the discussion during the course. The schedule for the course, currently it is planned for 3 full days on 3rd, 4th, and 5th February 2021. That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And the plan currently is to start from 9:30 at 9:30 and have a course together until 16:30 Georgian time. This is. We've decided to have 3 full days. It differs a bit from some of the technical courses, especially that you saw from the DevOps course before that. The idea is to have 3 continuous days because the topics are linked to each other very tightly, and we would like to have this momentum gained from the start of the training and have the best potential to reach the successfully to the exam. Now, by covering all the topics, having discussions together. And the main topics that we're going to discuss and cover in the course are outlined here. That's not the order that we're going to talk about them during the course, but just to give you an idea about what is going to be covered. Some general project management themes or areas that are valid not only for PRINCE2 courses, but also in whatever methodology we are using, how to form the team, what business justification do we need to start the project, ideas about planning, what kinds of plans do we have, of course, quality management, risk management, change management, and a few tools to manage the progress of the project, just to be sure that we are according to what we agreed in the beginning of the project. And on the process side, these are the names that PRINCE2 define, but in general, these are standard process. We will see during the training that it's nothing new. If you have any experience with project management, you will know about them, even though in different terms, maybe different terminology. So how to start the project, how to plan it in the beginning, how to plan during the project, how to correspond changes during the controls phase and execution phase of a project. And of course, what do we need to complete before we reach the end of the project and close it. One of the most important aspects during the course will be preparation for the exam. This will happen not only during the discussions, when I will be giving you hints and tips, what to expect in the exam, the format of the exam, duration, some tips and tricks, as I said, on how to read the questions, how difficult they are. We have prepared really solid amount of training exams, simulations. Overall number is 10 that we will have together with the materials that we are going to use during the course. And depending on the time that we have during the course, because it varies on depending on discussions, questions and answers that we have during the course, we cover usually at least one such simulation exam during the course. during the third day, on Friday. This would be in our case. If the time allows, we start covering or even cover a second simulation exam during the course, and the remaining 8 or 9 remain for you. You get them in electronic format, so you can continue your self preparation with the materials, the course book, and the exam. Um, those mock exams on your own during the course, the exam preparation after the course. So why have we chosen PRINCE2 and especially the foundation level? Because it's full-fledged project management methodology, very easy, very effective methodology. It's one of the most recognized and well known and used methodologies in the world. It's when we discuss about the principles, you will see that it is suggested already from the beginning, from the principle level, that we should be able to tailor the methodology together with other methodologies that the company is using. For example, agile methodologies, lean, any other project management, and not only project management, but processes in the company. So that's why we've chosen this as flexible and very effective methodology. And with the 3 images below, just indication about the 3 main areas that we're going to cover: principles, themes, and processes. And that's going to be the foundation. And of course, when we go into the discussion of each of them, there will be much more discussions and examples that we're going to have. And we already had similar question for the previous training, and I'm going to try to cover this for project management as well. Who is this training suitable for? First of all, it is mainly for organizations that we see so far, that they try to improve their project management process that they currently have within the company, or if it is a startup company and they don't have any process no, established yet, that's a good example to have fully working project management methodology with documents coming together and already described and available to start using from day one. Also, those companies, especially those that have any experience with project management already, but would like to expand their portfolio to international companies, international projects. So that's a good chance to certify their project management professionals within the company, so they're more competitive to the other international companies. And from organization levels, we have trained various levels of managers within the company, starting from top management, of course, already working project managers or line managers. And it's also beneficial to any other kind of role within the company, just to understand when they work in project environment, what is expected of them or why is it expected, so they know and understand better and feel better in the whole project management ecosystem. And for individual participants who are currently maybe unemployed or waiting or wishing to change their profession from something else into project management, that's a good start, because as I said, that's a full um, methodology coming with described process, defined roles, defined documents, so you can get a really good picture just from this course what project management means, and whether it is anything complex to you that you would like to dig further in, or it feels more confident or comfortable just after this course. For those of you who have any experience with project management, of course it will be a bit easier to understand the concepts, because these are general project management concepts. And if any of you is already um, working as a project manager, but for example following the PMI standard, the PMP certification, for example, this could be a good top up on their knowledge, giving a bit more structure or answering some of the questions that the PMI standard doesn't answer. So if you have any questions about this later in the Q&A section, we can cover them. What are the prerequisites to take the exam successfully? First of all, it will be good if you can attend all 3 days all the time, because you can, in this case, participate actively in the discussions, the examples that we give. Of course, during the course, is an open discussion. You're always welcome to bring your own examples, case studies from your current projects, companies, that we can understand better the situation you're in, and we can help you better with solving the issues that you have. But of course, after the training, it will be good to spend a few days, probably about a week. We usually advise at least 1 week for self-study after the course, to go through the course book once again, have time to do the remaining of the training exams that we're going to provide you. And of course, after the course, I usually let participants reach me in LinkedIn, so I can answer questions and advise them or consult them during their preparation, so they feel even more confident before the exam. And on the practical side, what you can do with the knowledge that we share during the course, after the course. As I said, the biggest advantage of PRINCE2 is that it's out of the box, fully structured methodology, recognized worldwide. So you will be able to understand this process. You will know how to understand where you are in the project, name the process, name the steps, and especially if you work in a company that is relies on you to understand better the project management area and to help the company grow in the project management area, you will be able to consult and to give ideas and suggestions what could be improved in your company. And if you're an individual project manager trying to switch to project management, of course you will have the techniques and the focus of all the details that we're going to discuss during the project, including the documents that you're going to receive as a separate archive, including all the documents. Of course, that's the format suggested by PRINCE2. And during the course, we discuss how this can be changed and optimized for real life use if your company uses something different or different terminology. So you will be able to work not only with PRINCE2 methodology, but also, as I said, working with other methodologies and know how they work together with PRINCE2, and in general become a better project manager or be able to start with project management profession. And also the other thing that I didn't mention in the previous slide is, of course, once you get the certificate, this gives you a better chance to be better recognized within the project management community. And many companies offer this certification of their employees, which is a first step towards higher salary or different position within the company. And now with the online mode of operation, because of COVID-19, I've seen that many companies started hiring people from all over the world, not only locally. So that's a really great chance for anyone, especially in the project management area, to look for opportunities not only in the local Georgian companies, but for many opportunities worldwide. So that was in brief what we're going to cover in the project management training. And now we can cover any questions.
Thank you, Ivaylo. If you didn't pass the exam, can you try it again?
Yes, you can. PRINCE2 or the company that holds the um, is now eligible or holds the PRINCE2 as a whole for development, Axelos, they allow even immediately after failing an exam to sit it again. So there is no the so-called cooling period as we have seen for other trainings.
What is duration of each lecture?
Each lecture, if I suppose the question is not the how long each training day would be. It's from 9:30 to 6:30. But for each day, the material is split within modules. We are going to cover 15 modules for the topics, including the topics that I mentioned here in the beginning. So this will be split between modules, and each module, depending on the complexity, it's between, let's say, 15 minutes and 1 hour. And some of the modules are combined because of topics are too similar and going into each other.
Do we study Microsoft Project at this course?
It's not the focus of the course. We mention it as one of the most powerful project management tools when we talk about how to follow the process, documentation. But this is not the focus. I mainly mention it the way how I have used it and with the pros and cons for PRINCE2 and how PRINCE2 projects could be led within MS Project. But yeah, in general, we talk about it, but it's not within any of the modules as a standalone topic.
I have no experience in PM, just a course in the university. Will I be eligible for the course?
Of course. So Project PRINCE2 Foundation is also suitable for people with zero experience as project managers. So no worry about that.
Can you compare PRINCE2 with PMP?
We can compare during the course. Of course, the focus is mainly on PRINCE2, but I highlight many areas that are different or similar within PMP and how PMI understands the way of project management. And also we do a parallel not only between those two methodologies, but also with several of the agile methodologies like Scrum, Kanban, and the overall agile idea, and those so-called traditional methodologies.
How long experience is good for this training?
I don't think that that's a major driver for attending the course. As I said, even if you have zero experience as a project manager, you can attend the course and you can pass it. You can pass the exam. Material, we start from the very beginning of what PRINCE2 is and prepare everyone for the exam. But of course, if you have more experience as project manager, it will be easier for you to understand the concepts. Maybe just the terminology would be different, but the overall concept, the process, the overall idea of project management, you would already know that.
Which tools will be used for project management?
That's one of the main differences between PRINCE2 and PMP courses. Now, PRINCE2 focus on the project management areas and the process, and it doesn't suggest any tools or software. So we're not going to use any particular software to manage the projects, but I'm going to mention a few softwares that I have used and usually use till now for project management. But there will be no particular software discussed.
Does it include practical works or just listening lectures?
The examples we discuss, the practical work is mainly exam preparation with the simulation exams and the live discussions on each of the topics.
Thank you. I remember from your courses, you also create various sample documents from one stage to another stage, how the project is moving.
Yes, those sample documents that are actually the documents coming already prepared from the PRINCE2 as a full methodology. So we are going to discuss these documents and the students are going to get these documents from a previous simulation that we have done in the past with a course, case description, and of course each of the documents um, filled in according to this fictitious project. And of course during the course it is allowed everyone to bring any examples, no matter if it is a document that they're using and just don't know if the format is correct or they have any concerns about the format, or any situation or process within the company. So we usually use examples that I give from my experience and examples coming from participants to discuss the principles and the process that the PRINCE2 methodology offers.
Can you tell what are the requirements for this course?
As I said, at least from my perspective, there is no um, hard requirement or experience or methodologies that you currently know. The only idea behind this course is for you to be interested in project management in general. And especially since you know now that we're going to cover PRINCE2, to be willing to work with PRINCE2 or to want to understand how PRINCE2 sees the world of project management.
Can you tell how a career path of project management is developed?
This role usually starts first by participating in projects, only as a participant, not as any kind of managing role within the project. For example, here, any kind of project support roles like project management office, junior project manager, project management associate, assistant, project coordinator, helping other project managers, just to understand the process at first, how the company works, how project management works all together, and then going up the, let's say, project management ladder. You can become project manager of a small project, as with 3, 4, 5 participants, uh, something like really small initiatives for improvements. And then with gaining the experience, you will of course become more confident a project manager to start leading even bigger projects, programs with tens of participants or hundreds of people within the project.
Can you share what is the biggest challenge for a project manager?
I would say that's one of the main highlights during the projects is to deal with changes. That's why we have two of the topics that we spend most time discussing is change management and risk management. That's the main focus here. Even though if we might have the most brilliant team and of experts within in any project, but if we struggle with risk management or just neglect change management, as I have seen in some projects, we just don't want to accept that there are changes or there are going to be changes in the project. This is really the biggest problem afterwards in the project.
Yes.
So understanding how requirements management, PRINCE2 is already pre-enabled when it was even created in 1980s to be as agile as possible. So once we start discussing, we'll see already from the first few slides that it is from the starting of the idea of PRINCE2, the founders started with the idea to make it agile and be able to adapt to any industry, any company, any size of a project.
Okay, another question. How many exams, how many questions will be in exam, and what is the duration of the exam?
The exam questions are 60, 60, and the time is would be 75 minutes. So it is the standard duration is 60 minutes, but for people taking the exam in non-mother tongue, they give 25% more time. So it's 15 minutes, and that gets us to 75 minutes overall duration. It is a closed book exam. You cannot use any help materials, assisting materials during the course, and each question has 4 answers, multiple choice answers, and only one is correct. The passage percentage to be able to successfully pass the exam, it's 55% of the questions, which means 33 is the bare minimum, and any number above 33 is even better.
Thank you. Can you tell something more about the communication skills?
Communication skills, that is something that we continuously repeat during the question, during the course, because most of the problems come from that I have seen come from communication issues, even though they are not technical problems with different communications or non-communicating. People tend to create problems. So we're going to cover a few ideas about communication skills, documents using formal, informal communication, um, to show that what Prince2 suggests as methodology, even though it may seem really hard or strong bureaucracy, that's just a recommendation, and we can adapt it in any project to get any form, just to have this communication flow.
And in this current work from home situation, is this bring some change in communication? How you work today?
No, of course, face-to-face communication is gone, so we cannot rely on face-to-face meetings and really quick informal discussions during coffee breaks, or just going over to a colleague the next desk to discuss anything. Now communication became a bit slower with Zoom invitations or any other platform that we may use for online communication. Even if you wish a phone call, just to take the phone, reach the other person, he may not be able or she may not be able to pick up the phone at that time. So that's becoming a bit of a challenge, but we have seen a few tools like chat platforms or video conferencing platforms that still allow us to meet, even though it's virtually, at least to have possibility to discuss anything that we would.
There are several questions about PA exams. I can tell that in this project at the moment there is no PMP course planned, but in future releases there is possibility to include PMP. Can you tell, Ivaylo, how PRINCE2 and PMP are placed in a career of a project manager? How a project manager should start with PRINCE2 or with PMP?
My strong recommendation first is to go with PRINCE2 Foundation because it's full methodology already describing and giving us, let's say for free, already developed set of processes, how they work with pre-designated steps, roles, like job descriptions of each of the roles, the documents. We have a set of more than 30 documents coming already prepared from PRINCE2 founders, that even for companies and people having no experience with PRINCE2, with project management, just having the PRINCE2 knowledge, they can start understanding and applying project management practices for just a few days or weeks after the course. While with PMP and overall the PMI idea behind for project management, they mainly focus on tools and techniques from project management perspective. If you're a project manager role, what you can do and what you need to do your job properly. While in the PRINCE2 area, we discuss equally the equal importance of each of the roles. Not only the project manager, but all the other team members, various teams, the project sponsors, each of those roles, what are their responsibilities and how they work together and that the project manager is not the only person working in the project.
Thank you. PRINCE2 is suitable for what kind of companies and technologies?
Any kind of industries, any kind of projects, types of project, technical projects, or let's say process optimization projects, and also in whatever size of a project. It could be easily applied to, let's say, automotive industry, where we have really big projects, big products with thousands of components. And also I have seen it working very well in a startup organization, where there are maybe 10 people working.
After graduating this course, how will you find your first project manager job? How we can develop further, and what is your advice next?
How to find the first project manager job? To be honest, I don't know what job portals you may have in Georgia, but at least I find so far LinkedIn is really powerful tool. Many people, not only recruiters but companies, post their jobs there, and the good thing is that you can see the prerequisites for each of these positions. Usually, this is part of the job offerings, and you can see how Prince2 applies, and you will see in most of those job offers when they talk about be able to manage project on time, know the project constraints, know what the project management role is, know how to communicate, and all of these we are going to cover during the course. So after the course, if you see such job opening and job description of a project management position, you will see that we have covered everything that is needed for this position. Of course, experience is another thing, but at least you will be able to apply for, let's say, junior or entry level project manager roles, intern roles or assistant roles.
Can I take this course along with other courses like DevOps? This is a frequent asked questions. Yes, you can, but you need to complete the first course and take the exam. And because of the time frame for this project is not so long, it is very, very difficult to organize. Is Prince2 compatible with other methodologies? If yes, with which?
Yes, definitely it is. One of the core principles of Prince2 is tailoring, to be able to tailor the entire methodology to company vision, company process, procedures, and also with any other methodologies. I have seen it works pretty well with the PMI standard. So what you would potentially learn in a PMP course, it can add on what we will discuss in the Prince2 course. And also Scrum, Kanban, or any agile methodology like the DevOps you've seen in the previous course presentation, it could work very well with Prince2, because Prince2 provides the framework and the steps of how to define and manage an activity, not only a project, but it could be used as a process for managing even smaller activities. And usually the difference in different methodologies in the execution phase. So the preparation, following the control and monitoring, usually could follow the same steps, the same methodologies, where Prince2 can help. And the execution could be one activity could be executed in let's say following again some agile methodologies like Scrum or Kanban. Other activities, depending on the team, they could be DevOps activities. So in short, it could be used along with any other methodology. There are no, let's say, upper limit of number of methodologies to be used.